Alright, in this training video, I'm going to be covering how to enter in a purchase order and supporting purchase order. So if I'm going to start off here by telling you where it's at. It's under the purchasing module in the processing section over here. I've got enter purchase orders here and enter supporting purchase orders. Now the difference between the two. A purchase order is when you are buying material from a vendor. A supporting purchase order might be for a third-party freight that you're doing. Let's say you pay FedEx to ship the material from your vendor to you, and that's a third party, so you want to accompany that with the cost of the glass, and so you can add that in as a supporting purchase order. Another example might be, let's say you have one vendor, vendor A, that has the material you're buying from. They're shipping it to vendor B, who is going to temper the glass for you, and then vendor B will send it to you. So you might want to say, well, this supporting purchase order, the cost on that will be processing, it'll be tempering, and add that to the cost of the glass as well. So it shows you a more accurate value in your inventory inquiry. So I'm going to start off here with this enter supporting purchase order. I'm going to go ahead and hit tab right here, and it assigns me my supporting PO number. My cost type, I'm going to say freight. You can add what you want on this drop down menu here, but these are the three that I have in right now. So I'm going to say freight, and today's date automatically populates when I hit tab there. When I come down here, I'm going to say this is FedEx, one of my vendors I have in the system, and my currency is base. If I had put that on my FedEx, that would auto-populate as well. I'm going to say they're charging me $100 per lot, so just that lot means just a one-time $100 charge that they're charging me. They're not charging me per pound. So then I'm going to go ahead and save that. So I remember that 50221. Alright, it's going to say, do you want to print? I'm not going to print it right now. I'm going to show you how that relates to a regular purchase order. So now a regular purchase order, I'm going to come over here to this enter purchase orders here. I'm going to say, okay, tab here. Order dates today. Vendor, I'm going to say, is from a vendor I have called the Glass Man. My receipt date, I'm just going to hit tab here for today's date and tab here for the ship date. These are just kind of estimates here. You can say this is the expected day to receive it. This is their expected ship date. Those dates aren't that important other than the fact that it tells you if a vendor shipped on time or you received a shipment on time. You can look at vendor performance later on. So I'm going to go ahead and come down here to order detail and click on that button there. Let me bring this to the middle here. Now this is very similar to the sales order screen. So if you hit tab here, it does line 1, just like the sales order screen. Tab here, it does main warehouse. If you want to associate this purchase order with a specific sales order that you want to reserve the inventory for, you go ahead and type that sales order number in and the line there. If you can't remember, you can always look it up here. Since this is just a general purchase order, it's not associated with sales order. We just need to restock our inventory. I'm going to tab through that. Now the item I'm going to do here, I'm going to say it's a 1/4 inch clear. Again, if I can't remember my ID, I can always look it up. There's my 1/4 inch clear single light. I'm going to order 30 pieces, we'll say. My standard stock size I have auto-populated in here, and that's what I'm going to be ordering. It's just my stock size. And down here, my unit cost is $1 a square foot. If you notice right down here, it says my last cost was also $1 a square foot. Now, if I were to change this, now they're only charging me 95 cents a square foot. That update last cost is checked. Now next time I create a purchase order, that last cost will go down to 95 cents a square foot. The mill cost down here is what the mill, how much it costs just to create the glass for your vendor. So not everyone has that information, but if you do, it's great to know. So here, if you notice, it says, okay, 95 cents a square foot or $30.40 per piece. I'm going to go ahead and say that line is finished. All right. Now you have a couple options here on this purchase order. If you have, let's say, this glass is going to go out and be tempered, you got to create a supporting purchase order up here for just this line. Then you come down here and click on other costs. While you've got this line highlighted, you click on other costs, and you can add the cost just to that line. However, since this is a simple purchase order, I'm going to go back here to the header. And this is everything on this order is going to be shipped at the same time. That FedEx is going to apply to everything on this order. So even if I were to add another line here, let's say we're ordering an 1/8 inch clear. I don't believe. Anyway, so let me put this in here. Let's say we're ordering 15 pieces of this, And I'm going to go ahead and say, okay, that line's finished. So now even though I've got 2 lines in here, it's still just going to be $100 from FedEx, right? I'm going to go back to my header, and all I have to do to order or to apply that cost to the order rather than to the line is this non-material cost here. So I click on that. The freight, labor, processing, labor, remember those that I showed you on the supporting purchase order. It's going to say, is this a third party? Well, yeah, we're going through a third party if we're going through FedEx, so I'm going to check it. I'm going to come over here and click on here. Now my supporting PO number, I believe, was 50221. Again, if I don't remember that, you always got the lookup button. So I'm going to hit enter, and it brings in that $100 lot charge from FedEx. So when I save that, and I can say order finished, it's going to add that $100 cost to the 95 and 90 cents per square foot that I already had on the order, making your glass more valuable, right, in your inventory. So that's how you enter in a purchase order and a sales order. And this is it's kind of a fun process here. A lot of people start to fly through this. I've got right here the select which forms to print. You can print out your purchase order, your receiving copy of the purchase order. If I would have checked ship method and changed it to a pickup for you to go get it, instead of a receiving copy, it would say a pickup copy. You'd go and get it yourself. So, excuse me. So I'm not going to go print this out right now. I'm just going to go ahead and say cancel. And that's how you enter in a PO, and that's how you accompany a PO with a supporting purchase order. Now, not every time will you know FedEx is going to charge me $100 for this order. So you can always create a PO first, and then create your entering supporting purchase order after, and then just come back in here and add that material cost in later. So you can always do that until the inventory has been received in, which I'll be covering in the next video. So until that inventory is received in, you can always add non-material costs here or line non-material costs on the detail screen.